Yo, welcome back everybody. You know what time it is. I know you haven't seen my face in a while, but thank you to the homie right here. You're gonna see him introduce himself. We're up in here, we're in his studio. We're about to hit it off. We're about to go in on a little conversation. You know, I've been having a couple of episodes prior, if you've been following lately. One was letting go, saying no, fitting in, a little bit on the Butthead Report where it summarizes most of it. If you actually watching this episode, I just dropped the other episode which is about the truth and religion, just trying to analyze both things together which correspond with each other. Hope you listen to that. And this episode we're talking about rebranding or regrowth or a reset. A reset in life or a restart or however you would like to interpret, because everybody interprets everything differently. So without further ado, let them know, bro. It's been a minute.
Bro, thank you for inviting me to another episode. My name is Israel. I'm a business guy, I think. I would consider myself a business guy. I had a restaurant for over 10 years, closed it last year, and right now the goal is to do it again, better, more experience, and just take everything I learned from the first business and come up with something else, something that's gonna take it to the next level, right?
I completely agree. And trust me, when I'm talking about him, we met through City Tamales. That's how I met Israel, right? And it was a dope tamale spot in the Bronx. Trust me, it was like, what's it called? Where were you located? My bad, bro.
We were so City Tamale was born 10 years ago. It was born back in 2014. We were located in Hunts Point, in the industrial area of the Bronx. We had a business. We had a run for 10 years, and we specialized in tamales. That's what we did. We did sell other Mexican specialties, but our strength was tamales.
Nah, officially, even the empanadas was slamming, bro. Because I had the empanadas when he was out and he had his shop. But the tamales were different. Like, believe it or not, the way he made the tamales, it just hit different. Like, I miss it. Like, I always tell him, like, oh, bro, would you ever, like, start it again? And would you start it again? Like, if you had the chance and everything was in the right place.
I think I would. I think I still strongly believe in the concept of City Tamale. I think I just needed to take a break, bro. Sometimes you need to be honest with yourself and give yourself a break. Running a restaurant or any business, but I'm speaking from my experience, right? Running a restaurant was the hardest, the toughest challenge I ever faced. It's just, you just have to put in so much energy into it. Otherwise, it's not going anywhere. You have to, well, it was very challenging for me. When you're starting from zero, no guidelines. I'm an immigrant, right? I came back to New York City when I was 15. And you start from zero. You don't even speak English. You don't know the culture, and then all of a sudden you're trying to run a business. So it's a lot. It's a big learning curve. But the harder the more difficult the challenge, the more you learn, right?
That is correct.
So right now just trying to come up with different ideas and see what's next.
So, as you can tell, he said he came here for 15, right? So that was a start for him. That was a whole new beginning into the American culture. Like, I'm sure it was a clash of what he knew to what he started to, move into America and learning all this new stuff, right? So that was a new start. He learned it. He opened business, he closed the business. Now he's on a new venture, right? So you see, he actually knows the start and restarts. So this new venture he's on, I would like him to explain to you his venture instead of me. But I've seen his, trust me, his progress, and it's dope. Like, looking at his videos, he started just doing little the lives. He was going on live on Instagram, he was doing his morning run. Then he would have like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, which was cool. If you caught his lives, then he'll share it on his posts, and then he'll add it on his storylines. But now he has stepped it a whole lot more. Like, I'm impressed. I saw him today, and I was like, yo, bro, like, this is official. Like, you're doing it big. Like, congratulations. And just explain people like where you're at now, because I don't want to take that shine.
Yeah, well, so after closing the business, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was hard. It's hard because you're already used to doing certain things every day, and then everything changes from one day to the other. So I kind of didn't know what to do at first. I mean, I had an idea that I wanted to do content, and I wanted to continue to create videos and get better at it. But I had a few months where I was lost, bro. To be honest, I was lost. I didn't know what I was doing. But then, after, like everything, it doesn't last forever, right? So after a few months, I started working on creating content, setting up, getting better equipment, and I always wanted to do a podcast, set up a studio, right? So that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to create better quality content, not just the video part, but the audio as well. And the goal is to tell stories, tell my story, and to hopefully help people through my experience, and open up a space for people to come in and share our stories, from, I mean, any story, to be honest, because we all have a story, right? This is my story, but my space is here for everyone that wants to grow and build and do it together with me as well.
That is deep, and that's true. We all are basically a walking movie. Believe it or not, guys, we're all a walking movie, right? Don't ever look down on anyone just in general, right? Because that's their movie. From the homeless man on the street sleeping on the ground, or sleeping in the subway system, or sleeping on the train, or the person asking for money on the street, or whatever situation you see anybody, even to the smallest child, you got to understand, everybody has their own movie, right? We all start from one place, and we end up developing to multiple people. We it's a whole, like I've always said it, right? And I've spoken about evolution as a human, right? So when we grow as a baby, even before that, right? We are embryo, we are sperm. They meet together, it brings life. You're 9 months in the womb, you come out. It's completely, when you really think about it, every single person is an evolution from that little cell to where we are an adult, or where we are today, whatever age you are, right? So just remember, everybody's a walking movie. Everybody's story could be different, could start amazing, and it could end up being rock bottom. But it's up to the person who gets to the rock bottom to lift themselves up. You have to want to lift up, not the next person be like, oh, I would love for you to do this and this. You can't do that move if you don't want to do it, right? Like, I work with the elements, right? I encounter a lot of people in difficult spots, right? I speak to them. I don't ignore them. They could be assholes sometimes, but I still give them the chance to tell me their story, or just air out. Because sometimes somebody just wants to hear you out. Believe it or not, somebody just wants to know that somebody's there, just to listen to them. They could be a complete stranger, believe it or not. Sometimes people feel more comfortable speaking to a stranger than a family member. Because when you have a conversation with a stranger, it's just that point. It's like writing it on a piece of paper, ripping it or burning it, and that's it. It ends, but you let it out. I don't know why we're talking about restarting, but hey, it just happened to come here. But just know, if you ever feel that way, write it, throw it out, or speak to somebody randomly. But don't ever hold all that inside of you, because it could build up into something negative, and then it's health-wise and stuff. Actually, it does link with like a restart.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you agree on that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think, yeah, we all have, everybody has a story, uh, and everybody has a process, and the process has ups and downs, and it's all about how you deal with it, right? Your attitude towards life, towards whatever the goal you might have, because we all have different goals, right? Your happiness is different from mine. Happiness is subjective to each and every one of us, but you know, I do take the same approach. I try not to judge people, and I try to listen as well, and I try to help when they ready. I do try to help people when they want to be helped, because again, everybody has a process, everybody has a story, and some of us are still hitting rock bottom, and we're not ready to come out of there. But you know, at some point, some of us realize that it's time to, you know, get back in the game and start working harder to make the next venture even better.
Yeah, and just going on the whole set of restarting and the whole element of rebirth, or just core on this podcast, it doesn't have to be a business or a influencer type of thing. You could also do it with health. Me personally, right? I'm gonna tell y'all me personally right now. I went to get my physical in August. I was running at 240, right? So I found out I had borderline diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, regular shit that we all go through is due to our diet, right? So what I did, I went upon starting to work out, starting to take my supplements, and the biggest thing that I've done is fasting. So I do intermediate fasting, and believe it or not, right now I'm weighing 209.
Congratulations,
So,
bro.
thank you, bro.
Congrats. That's my. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's very important what you just said. You know, during the time that I had the business, the past 10 years, I was so busy, or I thought that I was busy, trying to get by day, trying to pay bills, trying to have enough in my bank account so I had enough money for payroll, that I completely forgot about my health, myself. I I mean, I was in a pretty bad shape after I closed that restaurant. And this past year, since I closed, I've been working on that as well. Not just trying to create content, but I've been working on myself, which is the most important thing, I believe. I've been going to the dentist. I've been also trying to lose a little bit of weight. It's hard to be honest, but I'm trying. I'm trying, and I'm sure if I keep on going consistent with small steps, one day at a time, I'll get there. But yeah, let's not forget about ourselves in the process. Let's try to balance things out. It's
Your personal life.
Yeah, because if you don't do that, then what's the point of working so hard? You know, if at the end of the day you're gonna be sick with a lot of money, I don't think there is any good on that, right? Also, during that's one of the lessons I learned as well, that it's it's necessary sometimes to work super hard, like running a restaurant, but then you also have to remember to live life a little bit, right? Because sometimes we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the city, and we just forget about our happiness and being healthy and doing the things that we love doing. Like right now, I've been going fishing, I'm creating content, and I love that, right? I love just going out to the river and just being there fishing. Healthy for my that's good for my mental health, and I'm trying to take things a bit more easier now that I don't have so many responsibilities. Work on my body, on my mental health, so that I can be ready for the next business.
Yeah, so it's the core. Health is core. Once you got that settled in, pick up a book. Pick up any book. If you follow me on Instagram and you see King Mexico and you scroll down from all them beers, and all them other posts, you see, I have a bunch of books that I don't personally, I don't read books because when I read a book, I fall asleep. So my best way to do it, I listen. So I listen to a lot of books. So if you run down the line, you'd be like, dang, like he really does. And it doesn't have to be my point of view or what I like.
Yeah.
I like to explore everybody's views. Everybody's views from this side, that side. Just get a whole understanding of the world because all of us look at everything differently. Completely different. None of us is gonna like the same things. Our taste balance are not the same. Our sight, believe it or not, is not the same. The way I see the world is not the same way Israel sees the world. We all see it completely different, believe it or not. Hearing as well. We don't hear the world the same way. Our tones, everything that we see, hear, touch is completely different. Even food wise, right? Like something could taste amazing to me, and to you, it'll be like, nah, it's not it. Even certain palates, like I don't eat a lot of salt, right? I could go to somebody who eats a shitload of salt. They'll eat my food and I'm like, your shit is bland. I'm like, no. What I eat, I just offset it. So let's say you eat like Mexican food, right? So, for example, salted, it's like a jerky. Cecina is like a jerky, right?
Salt, that's salty as fuck.
Yeah, salted steak. Yeah, right. Salted steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's amazing. So why should I add salt to whatever other ingredients I'm gonna put in? Because it's
You have enough
has
salt in there.
And if you use the queso añejo, which is like that stringy cheese, that has salt as well. So me personally, I don't add salt to the salsa. I don't add salt to certain things. The beans, I don't add salt. A little bit, just to help it cook. But besides that, everything else, I personally think will balance off with salt that's already inside the food that I'm gonna eat.
Now that we're talking about food, bro, that's how we met through food, right?
Yeah.
Through enjoying great food.
Yeah.
That's how I met you, and I remember when I first met you, I love your energy. You showed up, you support the business, and you still supporting my ideas. I mean, we here right now. I'm also trying to help as much as I can, you know, because it's you have to you get what you give, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, going back to food, that's how we met. I love eating good. I think he does the same. We're always sharing different new spots that we encounter in our journeys, and yeah, we all have to just respect each other, right? Like you said, you don't add salt to the beans because you think cecina is salty enough, and that's all right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. It's valid, and I might like salty stuff, and that's all right as well. You just have to respect each other and come to when we're working together, come to a middle ground and build. That's really what it is about, building with different people from different backgrounds, and well, that's how I see it. I'm pretty much open to listen to anybody, anybody willing to speak to me. I'm always open and ready to listen, and you never know who you might meet tomorrow. This is our second time doing an episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's crazy, right? Yesterday he shoot me a text. Oh, yo, bro, what you doing? Let's do something. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not gonna wait for tomorrow. I was telling you that I'm grateful because we met.
Oh, yeah,
we met through food.
I texted you yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And then we ended up doing this.
So it was very spontaneous. Yesterday you shoot me a text and say, yo, let's get together, let's do something, and I'm always with the same attitude. I'm always ready to jump in and record some videos and get them out there so you can see what we do, and not looking for perfection, but just doing it over and over again, and that's how you get better, right?
Yeah.
The process, again, going back to the process. That's usually the approach I take on most things in life. I get started as soon as I can, like with City Tamale, right? when I started the business, I was 24 years old.
What?
And I didn't know what I was doing, bro. I was a kid. I think I was still a kid. I was 24. I was in school, and I just had an idea. Oh, I wanna do some. I wanna be a businessman. I wanted to be a businessman, so I just ran with the idea, and I think I picked the hardest business to get started in.
Word.
But but like I said, the harder you fall, the more you learn, right? And and this is what I'm doing right now with creating content. I just keep practicing, but I'm practicing on our stuff, on our projects, instead of I like to work on my things, on my ideas. I could be editing videos for other people, but no, I want to edit my videos. I want to work with people. I want us to be out there, because I think we should all be doing this right now. We should all, regardless of what it is that you do, whatever work you do, I think we should all be trying to monetize it in different ways, through wages, through creating content, TikTok, whatever it is that we do. I think we should at least try it and monetize it in different ways, because the economy is really bad and everything gets more expensive, especially here in New York City. Everything's so expensive. So we all have short lives, and I like to live it to the fullest, to be honest.
That's I completely agree with that. And just in general, just remember, we all living on this earth. We all, like I said, started from one point and we currently here. It's up to us to have the health, have the drive, and some type of passion in something. We have to want more than life wants us to have. You got me? They always talk about destiny, and we all have a path. If you're into numerology, then you know that we all have a number, and our number is linked to a certain lifestyle. Then you have astronomy that is linked to a certain personality, and so so astrology, we talking about Chinese, Greek, and so on and so forth, right? But it's up to you. You don't have to live by that. It might be a guideline, because it's weird. Believe it or not, when you read some of these signs,
they make sense.
They make sense,
yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's, at the end of the day, it's up to us. We are the result of our actions, right?
Yeah.
We are the reflection of what we do on a daily basis. We can change our destiny. We can create our destiny. Destiny is not set in stone. We are the ones who decide what happens in our lives, where there's things that are out of our control, but we shouldn't worry about those things. But we can do something about today and what we do in the next hour, and that we have control over. Certain things are just how they are, but let's not blame anything on our destinies. Let's take responsibility for everything that happens to us and everything that happens around us as well.
That is correct. And just to sum it up, guys, just don't forget who you are. Don't forget your drive. Don't forget that it's not hard to restart, reset, and regrow yourself. It's like a plant, when you have a plant that's big, right, and it's outgrown its pot, what do? You cut a little bit and you put it in another pot, and it regrows. Just gotta know how to cut it. And in my shit, it's like having kids. You're repotting yourself into a different pot, and now you got to help that one grow into something bigger. And you always want to live a way where you show the example to your child, right? That it's okay to fail, it's okay to fall, but you got to know how to get up. You got to know how to get up. You got to know how to push through and stuff. And any closing words for you,
bro? So now that we going back to the topic of rebranding, starting again. Me personally, I think after running a business for 10 years and closing it, sure, I did fail, but that's part of the process right. But now I think I'm a bit more wiser, a bit more experienced. In the process of running a restaurant, I found myself. I learned to believe in me. And now that I'm starting something new, it's different because I'm not starting from zero again. Now I have a network of people that I know that are willing to support my ideas. Now I'm a bit more experienced about business and life in general, and now I'm not afraid to speak in front of the camera and telling my story. When I started City Tamale, I remember I didn't like speaking in front of a camera. I was shy. I'm still messing up, but before it was even worse, right? But now I lost. I'm not afraid of speaking in front of a camera. I'm not afraid of going I'm not afraid of starting a new business. I'm not afraid of many things. I learned so much. So yeah, rebranding it's not actually bad. It's a good thing, bro, because now you're not starting from zero. Now your brain is more wiser. It's more organized. Now you can do things better. It's time to build even better than you did before.
Just think about how many wealthy people have rebranded, in general. They reset when they sell a business and they start another one. I know many of you probably don't like Elon Musk, but he's an example. He did PayPal, sold it, and then he ended up getting Tesla, and then he's doing SpaceX and all these other things. But you may not like the guy, but you have to admire that he was able to do these things. Or Warren Buffett, all these big people with big names. Those are the first ones that come to your head when you think about wealth. You get me?
I do admire all of these people, but let's never compare ourselves with them, bro. Because if we do, we're gonna end up losing our minds. Let's just embrace who we are, know our limitations, and work with what we have in that moment, right? Let's not wait for the right moment. Let's get inspired by these successful people, but let's not compare ourselves to them, because they're living their story. Let's live our story.
That is correct. And like Coco said in the movie, remember Coco when the guy's forgot the guy's name, the villain, where he said you gotta seize the moment.
What is it called? Carpe diem. Seize the moment. Yes, yeah, seize the moment.
Seize the moment.
And make it work with any means that you have ready available. Just start somewhere and continue to grow, and know that we never stop learning. And as I think, as long as you have a positive attitude towards life and people in general, you'll do good at some point.
Yeah, just don't give up. Believe it or not, that's the biggest advice I could give anybody on this episode is don't give up. No matter what your dream is, yes, it might be big, yes, it might be impossible, but you never know. If you don't take that chance, you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know. Trust me, believe me. Just take the chance. What's the worst that could happen? You're gonna fail. It's just like life. When you ask for something, it could either be a yes or a no. You're still gonna get up when they tell no to you, right? You're gonna keep it moving. So, with that said, any closing?
No, let's just go for it and never give up. And it might take a step back or two, but there's always tomorrow, and you can do better tomorrow. And don't worry about it too much. Just try to eat healthy, do some exercise, and don't worry about it too much. Don't worry about it too much. Live the moment and try to live the moment and do good things today, so that tomorrow can be better.
And with that said, guys, you already know what time it is. To the next one.
All right, man. Thank you. Well, hopefully that